Okay, I am live. How's my audio sound? Check, 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 check. Checkity doo dah. Alright. So, past couple years I've been playing games on this channel. I decided recently to start ranking them. I figured why not do like a tier ranking of them? I have this tier ranking system I made. You can't see my mouse. Nope, can't see it. So yeah, I'm just gonna be ranking them. How many games we got to rank? About 60. That's a lot of them. So if you saw throughout the channel, I have played a lot more than this. Very far back, I played like Mirror's Edge, Battlefield, those kind of games. Don't remember much about them, so I'm not going to be ranking them. There are also some games I haven't finished. I'm not going to rank them because I don't remember them at all. And yeah, oh. Got some background music. That reminds me, I forgot to do this. 1 second. Just so I don't forget later. Alright. Alright, so let's get into it. The first game on the list. Where is it? God, there's so many. Alright, first game. Okay. First game on the list. Assassin's Creed 1. Why is it so... Oh. For some reason the opacity was at like 40%. Alright, Assassin's Creed 1. What did I rank it? It's been a while. 7 out of 10. Okay. What did I give it 7 for? Design, gameplay, funness? Okay, so first in the series, had a lot to learn from. But I mean, it was still fun. It was still a great game. So, I feel confident putting it at B. Also, the numbers are kind of helping me decide where it goes. So like A is probably 9 or 10s. B is like 8s and 7s. C is 6, 5, 4. D, 3, 2s. F, just fuck them. And S, doesn't matter what the rank is. If I love the game, I'm putting it in S. Don't care. Yeah, Assassin's Creed. Start off the franchise. They evolved a lot from it, which made better games, but it helped a lot. Alright, next up. For Honor. I don't remember playing this. The hell did I rank it? 7, huh? Yeah, I didn't really care for the story. Design was okay. Alright. What I liked most about it was just the multiplayer. Don't remember the story. Different factions were at war or something. Knights, samurais, Vikings. I just played for the multiplayer, really. You could stay in B. Go with B with Assassin's Creed. I know they're continuing to update it, so good for them. Next up, Outlast 2. Another 7. Really? I guess I like the design of like the woods, cult area stuff. Gameplay kind of sucked. Story, I probably should get it a 0 actually. Also, I didn't really rank all of these when I originally played it. I had to come back to all these. Yeah, this game actually wasn't really that good. It was just kind of weird, more than anything. Go see. It does have spooky elements. Atlas 1 was just fun because it's like the perfect horror setting in a haunted asylum. What was the second one even about? Your wife got kidnapped? I don't remember anything about it, so we can go see. Alright, this one's kind of weird, but I expect you to die. And I remember what I ranked this. 10 out of 10. Oh man. Okay, so I ranked it a 10 out of 10 because I really liked it. I thought it was a really good VR game and it showed what VR can do. I think it was like one of the first VR games, right? I still want to play the second one. But anyway, I liked each level design, how each one was like its own like James Bond-esque setting. Gameplay was fun, it worked. Puzzle themed. Story, you were an agent, a spy, putting you in agent situations. It's all fun. Worth the money. I think it was cheap. I don't remember. It's a fun game though, you can replay it a lot. And I had a lot of fun playing it. It's probably one of my favorite VR games. So I'll put it in an S. I really liked it. I really want to play the second one too now. I think it's out, right? I gotta check. Alright, next up another VR game. Spider-Man Far From Home VR. Oh my god. This was like a 10-minute game. It wasn't even a game, it was like a presentation of like, hey, go see Spider-Man Far From Home. The hell did I rank it? A 6. Yep, that's about right. I mean, it looked alright. I remember the NPCs were just like PlayStation 1 models. There was no story, it's just fun to swing around, really. But it's not long enough. Does this even count as a game? I'll put it at C. Yeah. I mean, it wasn't... They didn't put millions of dollars into it. It's probably like... Took them a month to make it, if anything. It was like, hey, we should make a VR game for next Spider-Man. Like, alright, get on it. A month later, here you go. Alright, I guess this will do. Next up. Shadow of Mordor. A fantastic game. Which is why I gave it a 10 out of 10. What's that background? Oh, it's like the rings. Yep. Yeah, this was a fantastic game. What I love. I never really cared for Middle-earth kind of stuff. Like, don't care about Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit, any of that really. But this is just such a fun game. It's got like the Batman combat system, where you have like super abilities, plus the Nemesis system, where you can just... Enemies kill you, then like, hey, didn't I kill you already? It's just so fun. And even the story, it's just a revenge story, but you get possessed by... What's the ghost? Didn't he like make the rings or something? I love this game. S. This is a weird looking list already. Alright, next up, AC Origins. Assassin's Creed. What did I... An 8. Why'd I put with... Probably because it was very buggy. And it was really long of a game. But it was still a very fun game. The story I didn't really care... Actually, no, the story I did like... I was thinking of Odyssey. The story I did like, mostly because... It's like the... Well, obviously it's the origins. But I really felt Bayek shouldn't have been the main character. It should have been his wife. I forget her name. But, like, she was a better character. I think most people agree on that. I do want to see something. Alright, Origins. I'll put it in an A. It's kind of like a low A. I'm not going to worry about ranking them in the lines. Just, it's an A, but it could be lower. The only thing that I didn't like about it was very long. Gave you way too much stuff to do, and I remember it was kind of buggy at launch. Other than that, I liked the characters, I liked the combat system. It was like the revamp for Assassin's Creed. Gave you like a more open world RPG element to it. Yeah. Alright, next up, Shadow of the Colossus, the remake. Never played the original. I gave this a 9. Gameplay, I guess the gameplay I thought could have been faster. Where did I give it a 9? Whoever had a reason, what was it? Maybe because I thought it was too much of the similar stuff, I don't remember. But anyway, yeah, actually, yeah, 9. A very fun game. You just kill giant monsters with a sword and a bow. Bunch of different ways to kill them. Yeah, it's got time trials, fun stuff. You know what, an A. Not my favorite game, but very fun game nonetheless. I'm gonna have to fix all this later. Alright, next up, State of Decay 2. Don't remember much about it. I'll say that off the bat. What'd I give it? 6 out of 10. I feel like most State of Decay games don't have a story. It looked exactly like State of Decay 1 and kind of dragged on with you doing the same stuff over and over again, which is just State of Decay. I'll give it a C. If you do like the build if you like just the random killing zombies, build a bunker base, grow it up, get more supplies, get better weapons, then that game's good for you. Otherwise, it's an alright game. I think is it co-op multiplayer? It might be. Next up, Detroit Become Human. Very fun game. What did I give it? 8 out of 10. Gameplay, I think I gave it that just because of fixed camera angles. And the funness. I mean, really, it's more watching a movie than playing a game, so I'd rather play a game than watch a movie, especially with that. I mean, I had a fun story about these androids coming to life, wanting acceptance in the world. You had 3 different characters: Connor, Kara, Marcus, the other dude. I think that's Marcus. Each with their own unique stories. I think Kara was probably the best, because she was just a normal android who wanted to save a child who turned out to be another android. You had Connor the cop. He died a lot. I think he died at the end of my gameplay because I fucked up. Then Marcus, the leader of androids, wanting to take control, wanting to become something more than just servants. I really enjoyed this game, so I'll give it an A. Or I'll put it at A. I just really wish with these kind of games they would make it more fun to play, kind of. I get these games are supposed to be like, make a choice, that's your outcome, can't go back to fix it. Also, don't they have like no checkpoint system? Like, I wish you can go back and load to a certain area and continue from there. I don't think you can do that. I think you can restart the whole level, but not like a certain area in that level. I don't know if they fixed that or not. Alright, next up, Spider-Man for the PS4, now on PS5. Is it just called Spider-Man? Marvel Spider-Man? I don't know. If I remember correctly, I gave this a 9 out of 10. The only thing I didn't like was the story kind of dragged on in the last act, the Sinister Six. And yeah. I'm surprised they didn't give it an 8, because one of the biggest problems I had with this game was just so much stuff to do, but so much boring stuff to do. Like the crimes, collecting random stuff. Collectibles were cool, but like, it was mostly the crimes. Otherwise, except this, everything but the Sinister Six, it was a great game. Aunt May, Doc Ock, Peter Parker, his relationship with MJ, his relationship with Doc Ock when he becomes a villain. It's fantastic. A lot of fun Easter eggs, cool stuff to like Daredevil, the Avengers. I don't know if they did X-Men. I don't remember. It's at least an A. Should I give it an S? I'm trying to remember what came out that year. Because Spider-Man might have been my game of the year. I gotta look up what year it came out. $2018. Yeah, that was my game of the year that year. Welcome to the S tier, Spider-Man. Also, Insomniac, you're doing a great job with this, Miles Morales, which we'll get to later, but you're doing a great job. Alright, next up, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. My biggest critique with this game, actually, hang on. The ranking, 7, yep. I just wish it had more to do with Assassins. And I know it's before Assassins. She eventually becomes an assassin, that kind of stuff. But I mean, if anything, you should have made this the origin for the Assassins. And I know there's like Pieces of Eden, there's Atlantis, which is its own thing. But I really wish it was just... had to do more with Assassins other than just like... Cassandra, a great character, but doesn't feel like an assassin, except when she doesn't even become an assassin. You see her life in Valhalla a little bit in the update they had. She never becomes an assassin. She helps them sometimes, but wish she would become an assassin. Actually, now that I think about it, A4 never really became an assassin. He might have in a future point, but Cassandra never really felt like a true assassin. It didn't feel like an Assassin's Creed game except for when they had talks about Pieces of Eden or whatever. She doesn't even have a blade. Hidden blade, it's just the Spear of Leonidas, which is cool. But you could have made that a weapon. Also, it was very annoying in combat. You couldn't instantly kill anyone. I don't know if did they do that in Origins? I don't remember. But, honestly, I'll leave that a B. Right next to Assassin's Creed 1. Both got a 7, you can both hang out there. Next up, Resident Evil 2, the remake. I already know what I gave it, but a 10 out of 10. This was an amazing game. That's why I was going straight to S. No debate. My game of the year, 2019? Is that when it was? Yeah. Yeah, because then they had 3 come out the next year. Yeah, this was a fun-ass game. It really got me into the Resident Evil series. Never played 2, the original. But now well, actually, I don't really want to, because this was such a fun game. I'm sure they rechanged a lot of things. But yeah, everything from Leon to Claire to Mr. X chasing you, it's all so much fun. Fun way to get you into this series as a whole. Next up, Control. I don't remember much about it. It had a very confusing story with the... Was this called The House? The place you were in? As a... I don't remember the main character's name. Jessie? Is her name Jessie? I don't remember. But anyway, Control I gave 10 out of 10. From what I remember in the time period. it all flowed really well. Gameplay was fun. You were flying around, shooting, had special unique abilities like telekinesis, flight, dodge, that kind of stuff. I mean, I gave it a 10 out of 10, so I'll put it in A. I'm not debating about it. I think it was in talks for Game of the Year, right? That year? That's 2019? It might have been. Next up, The Outer Worlds. Obsidian's take on Fallout, since they didn't have the rights to Fallout, even though they did New Vegas. This was just New Vegas, which is still fun. I gave it an 8. Yeah, the graphics were very similar to New Vegas, and the story kind of just blows right by. Still a fun game. Well, it didn't do much in my brain to have me remember it. So I'll leave it at a B. It would have been an A, but I don't remember much about it. And yeah, still a fun game. Alright, next up. Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remake? Remake Point 2? Or Modern Warfare version 2? The one that came with Warzone. Or Warzone later on. So I played the story. Don't remember much. What did I even rank it? 7. I mean, obviously looked great. Gameplay just felt like Call of Duty. Story, don't remember much. Worth the money. I mean, get a fun story. You get a fun to play story. You get multiplayer, and you eventually get Warzone, which is what people love. And funness. I mean, Call of Duty's usually fun all the time. Happy New Year's, Nidus. I mean, I don't care much about Warzone, especially now with hackers and stuff. I'll give it a B. I'll put it at B. I mean, it's just Call of Duty again, but like with new advancements, some more special stuff, and you eventually got Warzone. You can play multiplayer in Modern Warfare anymore. It's just Warzone. It's gotta be just Warzone at this point. Alright, coming around to, I think, 2020, when I play these games. Doom 2016. 8 out of 10. Gameplay, while it was fun to run out and shoot, I felt there was something missing, which is what they give us in Doom Eternal. And the story, I was kind of confused throughout most of it. Just demons evade and you fight them off with the help of Samuel. I don't remember it now. I don't remember much. Go to B. Still a really fun game, but don't remember much about it story-wise. And it felt just like a really average shooter. And following Doom is Doom Eternal. Doom Eternal, I know, a 10 out of 10. It improved on the gameplay. It actually followed the story that time of how you pretty much destroy the Demon Empire, including the DLC stuff. Also with the gameplay they added, like, you felt a lot faster, which I loved. And it was also my Game of the Year 2020, so I'm putting it at S. Was it 2020? Yeah, it was like right before COVID happened. Alright, what number was that? What are we at? That was 18. Jesus. It's only been half an hour. I'm actually blowing through this. Alright, following Doom Eternal was Resident Evil 3, the remake. This very much felt like a cash grab coming off 2, since 2 was so fantastic. So I gave it an 8. Story, I mean, Jill stuff was fun. Carlos didn't really care for him. And it felt very short compared to Resident Evil 2. And it also felt extremely rushed in some areas. I think they even didn't they. People were complaining they cut stuff out from the original third game, which people usually liked. If anything, it felt like an expansion to Resident Evil 2 than its own game, so leave it at B. Fun game, but it could have been better. Why did I rank this? Next up, Trover Saves the Universe. Made by the same guy who made Rick and Morty. Final Fantasy 15? I haven't played it yet, so not going to be on this ranking, but hopefully I'll get to it one day. Actually, the whole Final Fantasy series, I know nothing about it, other than Cloud's a character. Alright, Trover. What the hell did I give this? Yeah, an 8. Very fun gameplay. VR, it's probably better. And it's very short of a game. You have a fun time playing it because of, what's his name? Justin Roiland? The guy who made Rick and Morty. I think it's his game company that made this game. It's got the same exact humor, so if you like that, you'll like this. VR is probably better to play. I'll put it in A. It's a very fun, wacky story. And it's just... I wish I would have done more, but it's just still so fun. Alright, here we go. The Last of Us 1. I think I gave this a... Oh, no Cloud in Final Fantasy 15? What's he in, 7? Or I know he's in some of the games, but... I played a little bit of 15. Aren't they all just like new characters? I played like an hour of it. Last of Us a 9 out of 10. Yeah, the gameplay was just very Like you can shoot. Shooting's fun. But you definitely saw something was missing when they released part 2. Also, Elle and Joel. Elle and Joel. Joel and Ellie. One of the best couples ever. Father-daughter types. Even S. No debate. Really fun game, even if the combat was kind of have you played Minecraft? I have. It's not going to be on the list, though, because I haven't played it on the channel. Although I probably have it in A. Next up, Man-Eater. If you don't remember this game, you were a shark, and you just ate people. Really weird of a game. That's why I gave it a 6. The controls sucked. It was pretty much a Star Wars story where you fought Darth Vader. And it was alright for fun. I'll leave it at C for now. Just leave it at C. It was fun for a few hours, but after that I was like, alright, I'm just getting collectibles, doing stuff. Every area is the same thing over and over again. Next up, Last of Us Part 2. There's a bit of controversy here. I didn't like the story. Really, I didn't like Ellie. I thought Abby was fine. I didn't really care to play as Abby at the middle point section. And also, it was just so long of a game. And again, you felt like you're doing the same stuff over and over again. I don't know how many times I've climbed up like a small hill and like, there's our objective all the way over there. Just spawn me all the way over there because you're not doing much along the way there. You're just killing clickers or people. Yeah. I'll leave it at B. Also, I'll say, visually one of the best looking games. In gameplay, super fun. Yeah, it's just the story was kind of Didn't like Ellie just went crazy. And also, the ending. Spoilers if you don't want to know. At the ending, Ellie's about to kill Abby, and she doesn't do it. At least give me, the player, a choice to kill Abby. Because Ellie threw everything in her new life away to go kill Abby. Kind of stupid. She had a perfect relationship with Dana, I think. She had a baby with her. Oh. Dana had a baby. Ellie helped her, became like mom number 2. And yeah, she just could have stopped there. Revenge. There's either some revenge stories that are great, some where it's like, why are you doing this? Just stop. Just stop. Just leave it. Walk away. You killed like her whole family. Ellie killed Abby's whole family. Abby killed your family. Just walk away from each other. Alright, next up. Ghost of Tsushima. Yes. Best game ever. An amazing game. Is it 20? Oh wait, no, that was 2020. Never mind. Doom Eternal. Second game of the year. Ghost of Tsushima. Game of the year. What choice would I take? I would have killed Abby. I've come all this way. Abby's gonna die. Yeah. Best way to describe Ghost of Tsushima. You are a Batman-like vigilante, killing people in the Assassin's Creed way, in a Breath of the Wild world. Joel wouldn't want Ellie to kill Abby. Yeah, I could see that. I mean, also, Joel's not a good guy either. He did some nasty shit. But back to Ghost, it's just such a fun game. Jin Sakai. You can't see it, but there's a pop figure of him over there. And I just love the game. It's so great. Alright, here we go. Oh wait, also... Badoy, 10 out of 10. Marvel's Avengers. Now, I had high hopes for this game. I wanted it to be good. So bad. I love the Avengers. And I gave it the benefit of the doubt, even like a few months ago. But it's been over a year. And they've just added a raid. They've finally changed the gear system a little bit. It's D. Oh, it hurts so bad. It hurts to have to put you there. I even gave it a 7. I originally had it at a 6, which I might take it back to. Because I had worth the money a 0. The campaign is really good, but that's all there is. Combat, or the gameplay is fun. But other than that, you just... I wish they would have either such fun content, or obviously they're adding expansions and characters, which is cool, but it's cool for like a week. Then you're back out while they take 5 more months to put something new in. Honestly, the thing that probably hurt this game the most is just it took them too long. They screwed up at the beginning. Yeah, it is just good enough because they had free characters. That's a good thing. But I just want a lot. I expect a lot more. Especially from Crystal Dynamics. Alright. Man, I'm a Dan. Dark Pictures Anthology, their first game. 2 out of 10. I did not like this game. There you go, just squeeze right in there. Do I remember? Okay, Man of Medan, I do remember. I had to think about it for a second of what the hell the game was about. Really stupid, they went from haunted ship to just you're hallucinating kind of thing. Didn't like any of the characters. Don't remember any of their names. Except, Iceman. What's his name? Sean Asmore? I forget his name, but the guy who played Iceman in X-Men, he was fun in it. But that's it. Also don't like fixed camera angles kind of games. Just let me take control. Very hard to walk around corners when you can't see around corners. So yeah, first F. Next up, Ghost Runner. What did I give this? Man of Medan, nowhere near Until Dawn. Until Dawn's up here. Man of Medan, it's by my foot. Ghost Runner I gave an 8. Very fun kind of game. You're not there for the story though. What was even the story? It's like a neon futuristic post-apocalyptic world run by computers, robots or something. You're just going around killing dudes. I don't remember the story, but still one fun game to play. What would I B? If you had a better story that made me actually care, probably an A. But I mean, it's still fun just to go around slicing people up. Wait, didn't he? I think you had powers. Did you have... I think you can, like, get powers, like... I don't remember. It's still fun. Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Now, this is a long game. Yeah, it was the last one to come out. Eivor, really fun character to play. I like Vikings, so even a better setting for me. Also, I didn't say this with Origins and Odyssey, but they felt too similar back to back. Origins, ancient Egypt. You had deserts, you had pyramids. Ancient Greece. No pyramids, but a lot of deserts. Felt pretty similar. So when Valhalla came around and you had either the Nordic freezing wasteland of Norway, I think that's where they were, or the grassy fields of England, it was a nice change of pace. And I liked how they also... I like how they did the Nordic mythology with Odin, Thor, and stuff. How these characters, Eivor, Sigurd, Dax, what was his name? Whatever. And Randvi and Basim, how they're all like reincarnations of Odin, Thor, Loki, and all of them. I like how they use that mythology to like twist it around. The Tree of Life has some weird Nordic name. I can't remember what it is, but it's like a giant animus system, which is so cool. I really enjoyed it. That's why I played it when they did a update that came out recently. So it's going at A. Actually, wait, what did I give it? I'll give it a 9. Oh yeah, it was obviously Ubisoft, kind of a buggy game. But they also really did the side stuff really well. They cut out a lot of the fat, and all you had to do was just like fun side missions. You go at it, S. Such a fun game. Definitely up there with my favorite Assassin's Creeds. What is this? Oh. Spider-Man Miles Morales. Can you change gender in Valhalla? Yes, you can. I think you could even change mid-game, so it doesn't even really matter. Also, they have the same name, which is nice. Eivor male and Eivor female. Whereas in Odyssey it was Cassandra and Alexios, I think his name was. I mean, most people just chose Cassandra because she was awesome. But Valhalla, I think they're pretty similar grounding. Miles Morales. A game that kind of came out of nowhere, wasn't it? I think they announced it at E3, or around E3, and then it was coming out like later that year. So, pretty much came out of nowhere. I think people were expecting it, but not for a while, because it came out like, what, 2 years after Miles Morales? And yes, it was very short of a game. That's my biggest complaint. Which is why I gave it a 9. $50 for like a 8-hour campaign. and then like another 2 hours to go collect everything. I don't think so. But I would say it's better than Spider-Man. Just because it has a cleaner, nicer story where I like the whole thing through and through. They cut out a lot of the fat of side stuff where I don't think they had crime systems. Where I think there were crimes, but you didn't have to do much. It also, even like the side missions had value to them. One of them was you like collected these mixtapes or MP3 files or something, and then you would go home and like make a beat out of it, or Miles would go home and make a beat out of it, which was awesome because Miles makes music, so it all makes sense to him. And also even Miles' personal story of him learning he is a Spider-Man, not the Spider-Man, but he is a Spider-Man. He doesn't have to live up to Peter Parker, he just has to live up to himself, kind of a thing. So I'll put it with the other Spider-Man in S. Ooh, it fits perfectly. Kind of. Close enough. Next up. Ooh, Bug Snacks. Probably the best theme song for any game. The hell did I give this? A 7. I'll be honest, I didn't know what I was expecting when I got into this game. I thought it was gonna be a horror game. Like get you off guard, like have this cute little island where you can eat what'd you eat? You ate like bugs that looked like food, and then you become that food. I didn't expect it to be like Pokemon where you go capture them. I thought it was gonna be like a horror theme at the end. Because in the first trailer they had like this food monster come out and like attack the camera. I thought something was going on there. Nothing really. Until the end where... What was the story? You come to Bugsnax Island and you just help the residents get their island back? They all like split off, they all got angry at each other, they all left. Then you go out, you help each one of them to come back home. Also, they were all fun characters. I don't remember any of their names, but they were all fun. A very weird game. Not what I was expecting, but it was still fun enough to put it at B. There are so many games in the B section. B for Bugsnax. Next up, the next Dark Pictures, Little Hope. Better than Man of Medan, but they threw it all, or actually, yeah, much better than Man of Medan. But they threw it all away when they threw in the, oh, it was just a dream scenario, nothing was real. It's going as C. It did play a little better. The story was great up until the end. I liked some of the characters. Who was it? It was... Was it Will Porter? Was that the main guy? They usually get one big actor for these games. I think his name was Will Porter. Or is it the other guy? Hang on, I gotta look this up. Yep, Will Porter, the guy from We're the Millers. And I think he's gonna be in the MCU coming up. But yeah, it was better than Man of Medan, but you almost had me there. That's all I'll say. Oh boy. Cyberpunk 2077. The biggest disappointment of the year. Was it? Yeah, it was 2020. I think it was December that year. A very big, ambitious game that needed like another year or two in the oven. Buggy as hell. Just buggy as hell. But underneath all... Actually, what did I give it? I think like... Yep. 8 out of 10 with a big 0 for worth the money. I don't even know if they fixed all of it yet. Have they? I think they're still working on it. You should have just released it this year. A year later. Wouldn't have been perfect, but it wouldn't have been the trash fire it was back then. But, is it fixed? It's still not fully fixed for PS4 and PS5. Honestly, I don't think they should have even released it for 360 and PS4. I mean, it honestly should have been just next gen, because isn't that what they were waiting for? Next gen to be released so they can release it? But everything except all the bugs and stuff, it still never fully clicked for me. Like, it was still a fun game, but I was never fully into it. So, Cyberpunk, you're going to a B for now. Fun game. You never fully hooked me. And you're buggy as hell, still. Alright, next up, Hitman. These are all out of order. Oh my god. Not out of order in the way I did this, but the way I played them. Hitman 3 was this year? I think so. Yeah, I think it came out like early this year. I think in January, actually. These are all the Hitmans are. You know what? Let's do this. Hitman 3, Hitman 1, and Hitman 2. That's the order I played them. I think I played them when they came out, but not for long. All these Hitmans, I'd say go straight to B. I think I gave them all the same ranking. Yeah, Hitman 3 and 8. Medium we'll get to later. 8 and 8. They're all pretty much the same games. All super fun. But there's always something wrong with like one of them. Really the only issues I have are some of the levels are great, some of them are not great. Actually, let me find it quick. When I played Hitman, I decided to rank all the missions. There's 21 levels in all these games, all three of them. From like 12... Actually, I'd say from 15 down, all those are bad levels. And from like 6 up, they're all great levels. And they're all mixed between the three games. It's like each one has like such a bad level and such a great level, and the others are like okay levels. And really not much has changed in between all of them. There's like one or two things they changed. It's still fun. It is also great that each game has the content from the last one. And it also is fun to go back and find different ways to kill all your targets. So yeah. Alright, next up, the Medium. I think, yeah, well, this must have come out this year because I played it after 3. This was more of a showcase of what next-gen consoles can do with like instant world loading of like jumping between realities. Ah, hang on. You ever get like a cramp in your foot, then you can't bend your toes anymore? Hurts. A very weird game. Don't remember the main character's name. She can like bounce between realities. She can like stay in her world or go to like this dark themed world. I forget what it's called. But she's like a medium. She can travel between worlds. I mean, it was a cool concept. Very fun stuff. But the story was kind of weird. And nothing really made sense. Wait, what did I give it? 6. Also, was very short. I think for a full price game, It might have been fixed camera angles, I don't remember. Yeah, you can go at... Oops. You can go at a C. They were fun for a little bit. I remember there was like a demon ballerina chasing me. For some of it. It was like the main monster. And also the spooky world was very well designed. I liked it. Very spooky. What is this? Oh, yeah. Well, that should tell you what I think about this game. Outriders. This game came and went in like the span of 2 weeks. I still gave it a great score. 8 out of 10. I think I got all the achievements in this game and never touched it again. I think they did like one update since. I think I saw something recently. Oh, what was the story of this game? Oh yeah. So humans, Earth was like fucked. So they went to a new planet. Wanted to like make that planet their new home base. The character you play as got like infected with some power source or something in the planet. Then like you froze yourself for many years. Came back out and the new planet was at war with itself. Or there was like the good guys and the bad guys who wanted control of like special power that was in the planet, I think. It was like a faction war game, but you had special powers. It was fun from what I remember. But nothing to make me remember it that much. But I do remember it was free on Game Pass. That's why I played it. Yeah, you could stay at B. Yeah, you could be at B. It was fun to play. I think it was co-op. But like after 20 hours, it was like, alright, I'm done. I think there were like power level things or like end content, like power level yourself up to fight harder stuff. I think I got like almost there but never finished. And then a year later I forgot about it. Oh yeah, Doom from 1993. I don't think I liked this. What did I give it? Ooh, a 5. I mean, it did kickstart like FPS games, I think. But it is so much different from what's out there today. They didn't really tell you a story. There's like quick dialogue interludes in between each level. But it also goes by so fast you can't read it in time. I mean, they have all the original stuff from Doom. They have all the demons, the guns, just like an 8-bit. I'll put you at C. It just didn't click for me. I know a lot of people love this, but you didn't do it for me. I also love how little there is below C. I play good games. I should stop doing that. Alright, we're finally into stuff I'm starting to remember from earlier this year. Returnal. Is it safe to call it a roguelite? Where you die, restart the level, get powerful gear, go again, die, restart, die, restart, die, restart. Usually I don't like roguelites, but this one really hooked me, mostly because of the combat. And I gave it an 8. Yeah, the music does rock in Doom. Yeah, the story, I still don't know what the story is. The main character, Celine, lost her daughter or something. I don't even know if what you play in the game is like real or a dream or she's in a coma or something. I don't know. But usually I don't like these kind of games, but the combat really got me through it. And I even finished it. And I think I platinumed it. Got all the trophies. I'll put it at B. If it had a better story structure, like made more sense, then maybe an A. But it was a really fun game. Next up, RE Village. The game with the tall lady, who was only in it for a couple hours. I really wanted more of her. But everything that... Yeah, get this a 9. The story did kind of suck. Or it wasn't as great as other games. I mean, every story in Resident Evil is so far-fetched that it's just weird and unbelievable, but that's just Resident Evil. This one just takes away all the zombies and introduces every other supernatural threat. You got vampires, you got werewolves. I have not played Devil May Cry 5. I do want to play the entire series though. Is there 5 or is there more? I know it says... I know they're up to 5, but I don't know if there's like small games or spin-off games in between. But Village, they did a lot more horror-themed elements, which I liked. One, you had Lady Dimitrescu, the best woman to ever exist. And then you had Heisenberg, who somehow controlled metal. He was Magneto, I think. Yeah, the lady, tall lady, that's the only reason people played this game. The only character I didn't like in it was the character you played as, Ethan. He's just such a big whine baby. And he literally doesn't believe anything, even though he's been through the Baker House in 7 and everything going on here. And spoiler, it turns out he was dead the entire time. Kinda weird. Thank God he's dead at the end of this. That's all I'll say. But I did really enjoy this game, so I'll put it at A. I thought after I left Tall Lady's house, I would not like it anymore since she was out. But then they introduced... okay. That's a lot of Devil May Cry, Jesus. Yeah, then the other stuff they introduced with... Oh, what was her name? The doll. I forget what she was called, but the dollhouse thing was awesome. With the giant baby fetus chasing you was so weird. Then you had Monroe, the fish dude. It's kind of weird. And Heisenberg was just a weird character, but still fun to fight. Especially with the boss battle at the end. And then Ethan dies at the end, so that's even another... That's a bigger win. Alright. Almost at the end here. Next up, Hitman, codename 47, the first Hitman. A game of its time, which is why I gave it a 3. It is not a fun game. It might have been back in 2000, whatever it came out, but my god. The levels suck. Like, how many levels were there? Were there like 6 levels? 5 out of the 6 levels were just awful. The only fun one I remember was the hotel, which felt like a real Hitman game. Or like modern Hitman. The other ones, it was like you're in an urban jungle and you have to sneak around to a helicopter or like a crashed plane to pick something up, then leave. In other words, like you're in like a Mayan temple and you have to sneak past a jaguar and other enemies. And also, it was hard to play. Because it was hard to sneak around, even while you're in disguise. It was hard to tell who can see you're not truly you, or who... It was hard to tell, like, if people can really sense you're not one of them or not. And the only fun thing was at the end when you fight, like, 7 other Agent 47s. Did not expect the ending. But it was still not that much fun, so... What did I do? Oh. It can go right by the Avengers at D. I think you're just going from like contract to contract, clearing things out. And then the end is like, hey, you're a clone. Go fight more clones to shut it all down. Okay, that's weird. Ratchet and Clank 2016. Gave it an 8. I don't remember the story. Oh yeah, this tied in with the movie. Like Captain Nemesis? Captain Nebula? Whatever the guy's name was, the big hulking dude. It was like his version of what happened. It's like he was telling a story in prison of like how he became a prisoner. And it was a fun game, but don't remember that much about it. You could say it B. What is this? Wait, am I missing one? I am missing one. I'm missing Rift Apart, Ratchet and Clank. Do I have it in my folder? Alright, good enough for now. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. My game of the year this year. Goes at an S. I love this game. Do I have the ranked thing? Yep, 10 out of 10. Number 1, it's a beautiful game. Beautiful looking. I love how each world has like its own setting, theme. You have the what was it? Like that bar. It was like a pit stop kind of planet. I forget what they're called. It was like the pit stop where you can do like the brawl sessions. Then they have like that mining complex with a giant robot in the middle that you can activate. Then even the story with how, again with this game, they were oh, my brain hurts. They were trying to again showcase how fast loading PS5 is. So with this one, they have like instant world changing with like rifts. You jump through a portal, jump through another portal, world instantly loads, kind of like Medium. But they really included it well into their story with Rivet, Ratchet and Rivet. Yeah, her name's Rivet. And then Ratchet meeting the other Clank model, I forget her name. And then Rivet being with Clank. And then just the two of them trying to find their way back home. Or Rivet trying to help Clank find Ratchet. Ratchet trying to find his way back home, I think. And Dr. Nefarious, the bad guy in this game, he's just the wackiest villain ever, and I love him. He's balls to the walls crazy. And also all the Easter eggs in this game. It's just so fun. Like, they could make their own multiverse now. I'm saying it's a hot thing right now with MCU and stuff. You had Easter eggs to Sly Cooper, Jack and Daxter. Give me the Sony Games universe. Or multiverse. Alright, next up. Resident Evil 1. Or remastered? I think. Did I miss this one too? I did. I missed Hitman 2. I think I have that. It's Hitman. I don't know if this will work. Alright, Hitman 2 Silent Assassin. A bit better than Hitman 1. Very much the same game, just new areas to explore. I think there were... What did I give it? A 3? What did I give 1? A 3. Yeah, very similar of a game. Just new areas to explore. Kind of similar to how 1 had the fun end mission with killing other clones. This one had a fun mission, I think, where you were fighting like Scarface, or like a Scarface clone. But it was very much just Hitman 1 again. So I'll put you at D. Also, something these games don't have, quick save, or auto save, or saving at all. You just have to restart the entire level if you screw up. And it's also hard to try and get like the special kills. Oh, hang on. Like in most Hitman games, there's like unique fun ways to kill targets. This one, I think there are ways to do that, but it's just very hard to get them. So yeah, they both hang out at a D. Now, Resident Evil. It's finally your time. A very fun way to start a franchise. I thought this game was going to be a lot shorter than it was. I remember... So... Sounds like an F to you? I mean, they probably should be Fs, but they are just a little bit more fun. They are complete failures. Complete failures are for F. That's why Man of Medan's there all alone. D is like, I expected so much more. It just had a little bit, so you're not in the F. But Resident Evil, yeah, I expected it to be so much shorter. Bravo team, or Stars Bravo team, tries to find the missing Alpha team or whatever. They end up at a haunted or at a mansion that's overrun with zombies. And then it's just, we have to leave. So we have to do all these weird puzzles in a mansion that's while zombies are in the way. And then they also throw in hunters, which are just like giant lizard things. And then mutated plants who will strangle you. They got really weird with it, but they quickly showed what Resident Evil is as a franchise. Just weirdness. But it was still fun. But it was also very much... This is the first game. There's going to be a lot of stuff that we're missing right off the bat. I mean, really, it's very cheesy of a game. Like a cheesy story. And also, it's just like, I get you're doing some of these story things to progress the story, but there's so much more things you could have made better. Of like, hey, why don't we just leave? Do we have to go do this? Not really, but we're doing it just so we can get to the next part of the story. Or it's like, this door is shut, we can't get through it, but you can probably climb over it or break a window and find another way through. A lot of weird world things that would happen, but don't happen. But it's still very fun. Oops. So you can hang out in B. I am running out of space for B. Hopefully these other games don't go there. Alright. 12 minutes. This was... I think it's safe to say it's an indie game. Very short game. What was the cast? It was like a 3-character cast. It had James McAvoy, young Professor X, Daisy Ridley, who was Rey from Star Wars, and Willem Dafoe, Green Goblin. So you had a great cast. You had a unique gameplay of like, the night is looping, your wife is gonna die, you have to find a way to save her or save yourself, but if something happens, the day restarts, or the night restarts. So it's very much a keep fucking up throughout the night to find the right way to do it the next night. But then the story just got so weird, where it's like you're married to your sister or something. It got very weird. Where I thought, it kind of made sense at the beginning, where it's like your wife isn't all she seems. Like she did some bad stuff. She might have killed her father. And then like as you progress, you discover she didn't kill her father, you killed her father, which was also your father, which is just very weird. It's a very weird game. the story kind of broke apart a lot. And also, I don't think there are like a couple ways to end it, but there's not many ways to get to that ending, or like to like the end where you can make a choice. I'll put it at C. Really, this game was reliant on its story, but it just fell apart. Otherwise, it was fun gameplay. Of like everything is timed, so you have to do things fast and in the right way. Or like so many different ways to get a certain outcome. Or so many different ways to get multiple different outcomes. It is a very weird game. And also very short. Oh wait, what? I don't think I gave it that high of a score, did I? Yeah, 7. Yeah. It was like a low 7. Next up, Deathloop, another time loop game. Really? That's what's next? Oh, well, there you go. Deathloop 10 out of 10. It was a great game by Arcane. Arcane, they make games like Dishonored and Prey, where they want you to replay it to try different ways, like different methods of how to complete your goal. And what a better way than using a time loop mechanic? It's also, they give you the story of like what's going on, but they gave it to you throughout the entire game. Of how Cole, I think his name's Cole, the main character you play as, how he decided to break the loop once, broke it, but now the loop is back somehow. But also, you don't know if it actually happened or if it's Juliana, his daughter, which she finds out much later on, just fucking with him. They have a great chemistry, those two. It's just like, it's not even like a fun chemistry. It's like a hey, fuck you, no, fuck you, no, fuck you kind of chemistry, where they both hate each other, and it's just so fun. And even some of the targets you have to go kill, they're all fun and unique in their own ways. Some of them's a scientist who's like, what's it? I forget their names, but one of them's a scientist who's just like, I did everything. This is all on me. I am the main scientist here. When he's just an egotistical asshole. You have another one that's just like, has like a cult thing where they kill themselves. They like sacrifice themselves every day or something. Another one's just a party animal. Who, they have like a stage presence. Or a stage, or a comedy stage, where if you don't tell a funny joke, you just die. And even like around the whole game, just like walk around exploring stuff. It's just fun to like listen to some of the side stories these characters are talking about. It's a fun game. But it's not my favorite game. The only thing I wish they would have done was give you multiple ways to get the true ending, which is your main target, kill these 8 or 7 targets. There's only one way to do it, where you kill all of them. And I mean, it is a lot of like 12 minutes where it's trial and error of trying to find ways to get them all together in a certain area or time of day. But there's only one way in which they're all in a certain location, they can kill them all. I wish they could have done more different ways to get the outcome, but just the one way. And also, this game was delayed to hell. It was like delayed 6 times for a year and a half. So I'll put it at A. Very fun game. Every Arcane game is a fun ass game. Next up, Far Cry 6. This game didn't really... Oh, did I miss another one? Oh wait, no, it's after that. I'll just get to that next. Far Cry 6 gave it a 4. Just because it is too much of a Far Cry yet again. From Far Cry 3 to 4 to Primal to 5 to 6, it's just the same game over and over again. This time in the land of Yara, that is overrun by Giancarlo Esposito, a great actor, where I felt didn't have much time to give me that. He's a great villain at everything he does. Gus Fring in Breaking Bad. He was in Mandalorian, I forget his character's name, but he's a terrifying guy. But he seems like the best guy ever you can hang out with. And didn't do much with him. The only character I liked in this game was Diego, his son. And, spoiler for the end, he kills him. He kills his son for whatever reason. When if you're going into a Far Cry game, you're going to have fun. It's supposed to be like just a fun, wacky game where you have a crocodile as a pet that can go kill people, or a chicken. And then you get guns that like shoot discs, like CB discs that can kill people, or just like a giant flamethrower backpack. But I mean, it's just like alright, it's like a tyranny revolution where you're trying to get back at the Emperor. And you do, but you don't get the satisfaction of killing him or saving his son, because he kills himself and kills his son. So I'll put it at D. You really gotta upgrade your formula there. Ubisoft for Far Cry. It's the same game 4 times in a row. Oh yeah. House of Ashes, the 3rd game in the Dark Pictures anthology. Much better than the previous 2. Because it didn't chicken out on making it a fake game, or a dream scenario, or you're hallucinating. But it still had the same problems of gameplay-wise, where it's fixed cameras. Just make it a third-person game. Who cares? I hate fixed cameras. Also, it went by very fast, kind of. I'll put it at B. Also, I wish you would have had me care more about the other characters in the game, because there was the main actress, like the big actor, Ashley Tisdale. That was who you had. Didn't really care about her or her ex-husband she was trying to get back with. I cared about all the other guys. Salim, the best guy in the game. The enemy of the American soldiers in war, who was like, hey, we gotta fight together to take care of these other enemies, which are just vampire alien things. It got very weird, but I loved how far they went with it. It's like, just give us a scary story. We don't back out right at the end. And they said, okay, we're gonna have these vampires that turns out they're aliens. It's like, okay, just go far out then. I love it. But I just wish they would update the gameplay, just so it's easier to play. Also, many times the QuickTime events feels like it doesn't work. And they just get super pissed because it's like, I pressed that button, I know I did, but then you don't. And then someone dies because of it. Alright, now we're getting into it. This is what I was doing for like the past month. Every Halo game. 12 Halo games. It's a lot. So I'll probably get through these very fast. Halo Combat Evolved. Give it an 8 out of 10. Very much like Assassin's Creed 1. It started off an amazing franchise, but very much didn't have the tools it needed to be the best there ever was. Like the gameplay, it felt very slow compared to like future Halo games. But still is very fun of a game. I'll leave it at A. Oops. And go right there. Started off the whole saga of Master Chief in the UNSC, Covenant, Elites, Aliens, Halos. It's a great story. Great, fun campaign. I don't think it had multiplayer. I think it had like local co-op or local LAN party multiplayer, but not like online multiplayer. Still fun. Continuing on, we had Halo 2. And if I recall correctly, never played any Halo. If you have Game Pass, they're all on there. They're all free. Halo 2, a 10 out of 10. It is a fantastic game. Continues on the story of Master Chief trying to destroy, or he did destroy the Halo ring in the first one. Then it continues to where you focus more on the Covenant in Halo 2. You focus on the prophets trying to activate rings because they think it's like their prophecy to. They think it's like. Yeah, they think it's like a prophecy to activate the rings, and then they'll be blessed with like the Great Journey or whatever. But then you also get the Arbiter, one of the best characters in these games. You play as him a lot. And even though you don't play as Chief, it's still very fun to play as him and see why he turns against the Covenant at the end. Halo 2, I'll put it at S. Also because the multiplayer, there are so many maps that I just remember from my childhood playing here. It's so fun. It's probably mostly where I played my multiplayer for Halo. Following Halo 2, Halo 3. I think I also gave this... Oh, wait. Yep, 10 out of 10. It continues the story of Halo 2 because it's on like it's like a part 1, part 2 kind of scenario. And this time you join forces with the Arbiter. And if you have co-op going on, your friends play as the Arbiter. And it is a great conclusion to this trilogy. And it's still fun multiplayer, still nostalgic maps to go back and think about. Had Halo Forge, so you can like make your own kind of maps. So I'll put it right below Halo 2 at an S. Fantastic games. Love them. Now we get to the bad parts. Halo Wars. A real-time strategy kind of game. Nope, wrong button. A 4 out of 10. Did not care for the story. And yeah. It was very slow of a game because you had to build bases to go, or to deploy troops, to deploy tanks, to go fight enemies. I just want to go fight enemies. I don't want to sit around and wait for a base to build itself for 3 minutes to collect resources so I can go deploy enemies or deploy troops to go fight stuff. I just want to go fight. Also, I think this was before Halo in the timeline. So like none of it really mattered. It's also very weird going from where in Halo 3 you fought with the Covenant to you're back to fighting the Covenant. I'll put it at a D. I'm sure if you like an RTS kind of game, you'll like this. I just don't. But it still was somewhat fun in certain areas. ODST. The Halo 3... I always feel like it's an add-on to Halo 3, but I guess it's its own game. Like its own mainline game. Gave it a 8 out of 10. The only thing I didn't like about it was... So throughout the game you play as a ODST soldier who is not a Spartan, who is not Master Chief. You're like a second line troop who gets deployed in. And you play as this rookie guy who goes around this open world map area and finds these things that are clues to where your team is. But then you get like these flashbacks of what happened like a few hours ago to your team. I just would have liked if we played the flashbacks and not as the rookie at all. The rookie's just walking around picking up like a broken helmet or like a broken communicator. It's like, oh, I wonder what happened here. Then you did a flashback of what happened. But you just could have made it so we just play it as is all the way through. And also one of the ODST members, Nathan Fillion. It adds a point. He's great. Which is why they brought him back later on. Also, it didn't have multiplayer, but it did have Firefight, which is like PvE, co-op, waves of enemies type coming at you. It's fun. So I'll leave it at A. Continuing on, Halo Reach. Another game without Master Chief, but you are Spartans. Team Noble? I think that's what you're called. You're on the planet Reach. This is like right before Halo 1. Your objective is to get something off-world to the Pillar of Autumn, which is where Halo 1 picks up. And throughout the game, your whole team just dies. There are 6 members. You have Carter, the leader, Kat, girl with a robot arm. Who's 3? Is it George, the big tank guy? I think he's 3. 4 might be June, like a sniper guy. 5 is Emil, guy with a skull face or skull helmet, just like a badass dude. And then you, Double 6. It's also great you can customize your guy for the game. And then even customize him for multiplayer. The more you level up, the more armor sets and colors you unlock, I think. Probably had the best multiplayer leveling up system. Probably not all the best maps. Still fun maps. But you can't remember. I don't remember much. And I believe... Wrong one again. 10 out of 10. And I think it's the highest ranked in my series. So S, probably the best Halo story. And the most emotional ones. Alright, next up Halo 4. Continuing on, Chief's journey. The end of Halo 3, I think he was lost in space, MIA. And it's like 4 years later or something, he's frozen in space. Then he's back in the fight to fight the Forerunners, which are like ancient aliens. It was a very weird game. And I gave it an 8. The story wasn't great for Halo. And funness, I don't think it had the best multiplayer. I mean, fun-wise, it still was Halo. It still was fun to play. Just like a less fun story to play. I'll leave it at B. I am running out of space. Next up, Halo Spartan Assault. This is I think it was a mobile game at first. It's like a twin stick shooter. You're like looking from the top down at your character. You're controlling him. You're like walking at him, then aiming him and shooting. It is fun. I think what did I give it? I gave it a 6. Kind of a stupid story. I don't remember much about it, which is why I gave it a 0. And yeah, it could have been a little bit better in some areas. But it was fine for a Halo game, especially a mobile Halo game. I'll put it at C. It was fine in some areas, really crappy in others. And continuing on the mobile series, Spartan Strike. Somehow it's worse than Assault. That's why I gave it a 3. If you didn't see, when I streamed this game, it would not work. I had to play on PC because for some reason it's not on Xbox. They were able to port Spartan Assault over, but not Spartan Strike. Every time I finished the level, it was 50-50 if it's gonna work or if it's gonna crash. And it crashed a lot. So I had to either replay the missions over and over again, or I just gave up. I think I finished, I don't remember. But it was similar to Spartan Assault, where it's like, it's not a needed game, it's a fun game if it works. But it didn't work, so I was able to not have fun playing throughout it. And I just played this recently and I don't remember a thing about it. Except it didn't work. So it's going at F. I'm sure if they ported it to a better system, it would work fine. Or if you just updated the game, it'd work. Alright, we're almost at the end here. Halo 5 Guardians. This game has Master Chief on the run. First, it introduces like Spartan teams. Master Chief and his friends are Team Blue. Then you got John Locke, who in a TV show was played by Luke Cage, but not in the game for some reason. And Chief is trying to find Cortana, where she's supposedly dead. People think she's dead. She sacrificed herself at the end of 4. And Chief thinks he hears her, so he's trying to go find her. But everyone knows he's got, like... It'd be a problem if he went to go find her, because he has deep emotions for Cortana. So instead, Captain tells Chief to stand down. He's going to send another team in to handle it. Chief says no. He's going to go do it himself. If Chief listened, maybe everything would have worked out at the end. But also, this game doesn't really go anywhere, because the next game, they just kind of throw it all out the window. Most of the game, you don't play as Chief, you play as Spartan Locke and his team, which also has Nathan Fillion on it. Same guy from ODST who became a Spartan, which is kind of cool. But every other character is just like, alright, you're a new guy or a new girl. Didn't really come anywhere from the series, but you're here now. And it's kind of like Halo 2, where they set up like this big cliffhanger ending, but it doesn't go anywhere. Cortana pretty much... Cortana, like, she becomes evil. She's alive. She's evil now. She wants to activate this thing where she'll, like, safeguard the galaxy by having these giant robot protectors guarding it. And they can seriously do damage. So they try and stop them. Chief gets too emotional, too attached, can't pull the trigger, kind of. And Cortana pulls it off. She activates the Guardians, and the galaxy's in peril now. But it doesn't really go anywhere, so... What is it? Like that. I'll put it at C. Wasn't a great story. Did I... Yeah, it wasn't a great story. Don't remember much about the multiplayer. It also wasn't part of the Master Chief Collection, I think, because it came out afterwards. But you could, come on, throw it in. Next up, Halo Wars 2. I don't think I finished Halo Wars 2. I think I just looked up the ending. But I think I still ranked it. Yeah, 5. I think it was a little bit better than Wars 1, gameplay-wise. But it was just so long of a game. Halo Wars 1, at least you kind of breeze by. It's like a 5-6 hour game. Halo Wars 2, I think I made it 3 hours in. And it has very long levels with no checkpoints. So there was one level where you kind of like had to hold out a base, it's a very long level. It's like 20 minutes long. But if you screw up, or if all your troops die, restart the entire thing. It kind of sucked. And I knew to back out now because of how much I was getting annoyed at Wars 1. I'll put it right by Wars 1. Also, there's another RTS, and I don't like those. Don't have the thing here, so bring it here. The last game. Halo Infinite. The latest game in the Halo series that came out a few weeks ago, I think. And very different of a Halo game. Most of these Halo mainline games, it's just like mission to mission kind of game, linear gameplay. Halo Infinite, it's literally an open world kind of game where you can destroy bases, you can save troops in peril. But also this follows 5, and it kind of completely throws out the story of 5 to like kind of introduce a new one. It also follows Halo Wars 2, that story. But the main enemy you fight in 2 it's said throughout Infinite that he's dead, so a new guy takes control of the bad guy group. And I think it's on here. I gave it a 9 out of 10. Very fun. They added so much fun stuff to the game, like the grappling hook. Multiplayer is currently fun as hell. But I wish they kind of either would have continued the story of 5 since they had it all set up with the Guardians and all. Or you could have thrown it out. They kind of did throw it out by saying like, hey, we got Cortana, she's done with. But they didn't show it. They just explained it like this. It's like months later this all happened. And yeah. I mean, it's all a fun game, so it's going at A. Oh. And that is it. Every game I played for like the past 3 years on this channel. Whew. That was a lot. My throat hurts from talking so much. Currently on the list there isn't Death Stranding, because I haven't finished it. It's a long ass game. And Guardians of the Galaxy, because I haven't finished it. Whew. And lastly, I have a couple things here. Just the series I ranked. Or like of the games I played, the series that I ranked. Oh, this isn't the series ranked. This is the Assassin's Creed Blades ranking. So I guess each hidden blade they have I ranked for some reason. Alright. Then there's the series ranked. So yeah, Valhalla. It's going up high. Then yeah, everything else pretty much sets out below that. The Doom games. Alright. Dark Pictures games. The Halo games. I did all this like in a month. I was very impressed. It also tells you how short the campaigns kind of are. Hitman mission games, the Hitman series ranked. Ratchet and Clank series, only 2 games, so not much. The Resident Evil series. Spider-Man series. Last of Us series. And I guess the VR games series I've played. Oh, my throat. Oh. A lot more in B than I expected. I was really expecting A and B to kind of be even. And I expected C through F to kind of look like that. A lot more S's than I thought. 3 Halo games. 2 Spider-Man games. Doom Eternal, Ghost of Tsushima, Ratchet and Clank, Assassin's Creed, Valhalla, Last of Us, Shadow of Mordor, and I Expect You to Die. Alright. Well, that's gonna do it for me. Hopefully if I keep streaming this year, I'll have another list ready to go next year. Probably some more Hitman, some more series out games, or some more series as a whole games. Yeah, that's gonna do it for me. It's been a crazy year. Got 1,000 subscribers. Started streaming a lot more, and it's going somewhat well. I've kind of given up on playing games and releasing them as a video because don't get much views, or at least even less than when I would stream it. But yeah, that's gonna do it for me for this video and for this year. So if you watched, especially Nidus, thank you all for watching, and have a happy new year, and I'll see you next year. Less than when I would stream it. But yeah, that's gonna do it for me for this video and for this year. So if you watched, especially Nidus, thank you all for watching, and have a happy new year, and I'll see you next year.